Hey everybody, Dr. Diane Mueller here. In this video, we're talking about pesticides, their impact on the body, and removing them from the body. So we already talked in a previous video about xenobiotics. Xenobiotics are chemicals, and when we're talking about what things like pesticides can do to the body, go back and refer to that xenobiotics video because I talk more about symptoms there. In this video, I want to talk more about treatment and detoxing things. And I always want to start by saying detox is energetically expensive to the body. What this means is it takes a lot of energy for the body to detox. And because of this, if somebody is already really fatigued, in a lot of pain, has a lot of brain fog, these common symptoms we see oftentimes with toxins, we might want to and we might need to build up the body's stores before we begin to detox. The process of detox uses, for example, a lot of B vitamins. In order to have energy for your cells, you also use a lot of B vitamins. So that's why I mean this is energetically expensive. We're actually using nutrients to detox that we also use to create energy in the body. So the more we can build the body's stores up of things like B vitamins, of your complete minerals, of making sure your iron status is good, your vitamin D, your omega status is good. You want your omega-3 index to be looked at. So all of these various things, when you look at them in lab work, then you can actually say, okay, your nutrient levels are healthy, right? So you want to make sure to do that. Now, when you do that, once you've built your body up, once it's stronger, as I've talked about in other videos, one of the first things you want to do is really open the gallbladder. This is basically allowing the toxins, once they're detoxed, to flow out. If you don't have the gallbladder, you don't have the transportation of the gallbladder, the transport proteins of the gallbladder and the liver. If those aren't open and working, then toxins, once they're broken down, can actually back up the wrong way out of the liver and go back into the system, floating around, subjecting you to more toxins. You don't want that. It can make you very, very sick. So you can use things like I talk about TUDCA and choline and myrrh to open up the liver. And basically the process of detox in many ways is working backwards. So you want to make sure that you are also binding. So we want to make sure things are going well in the intestinal tract. So you want to have your binders. Binders are going to be things that once you have toxins get to the intestinal tract, they actually are bound, and the binding prevents the toxins from being reabsorbed, so you poop them out, quite literally. So when we're talking pesticides, some really good binders are things like modified citrus pectin, Chlorella can be helpful, activated charcoal, fulvic humic acid. So those are some of the top binders for things like pesticides. So you want to make sure you're binding. You want to make sure you're opening the gallbladder. You want to make sure you work on phase 2 of detoxification and then phase 1. We go from the bottom up instead of the top down as far as the process of the body, because imagining it's like you have a long pipe, right? And if the whole pipe's clogged and we start opening the top first and we get more pressure down below, but this is all clogged, it's not going to go anywhere. So just like that, you want to open the bottom, working your way up. So we actually work backwards through the process of detoxification instead of forwards when it comes to doing this sort of thing. So we got our binders, we got our bile stuff. Then we go on to phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be things like glutathione, NAC, alpha lipoic acid, milk thistle, glycine, taurine. These are some of our great phase 2 products. And then phase 1, B vitamins, glutathione as well. This is where things like green tea can even help. So again, I did say B vitamins in the beginning. So you want to make sure B vitamin status is good before you begin. But then typically you want to work backwards to the top. Now this is very broad. When I work with people in the clinic, I often combine things in various ways because of understanding their body and the intricacies. But if you're listening to this, you might be trying things on your own. I'd strongly recommend you always work with a doctor who knows your case, but at least to give you some education on some of the overarching foundational principles of how to think about getting some of these pesticides out. And remember, when you're detoxing, the goal is to always feel neutral or better and not worse. When you're feeling worse, you're subjecting your body to more toxins than it can get rid of. this is inflammatory. So we want to go slow. You want to work with somebody that knows you, and you want to go in a way that is not making you feel worse, because that can actually inflame you and slow down the overarching time that it takes you to fully eradicate these things. So I hope this has been helpful. Please do subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in another video.